but I have had a concussion.
Oh my God.
Wrestling's dangerous.
Preview. Icicle.
Okay, another time here with Velvet Vibes. We're here with the great one. We got a wrestler in the house. We have the great Demetrius Unstoppable. I say that correct?
You did not say that correct.
Oh,
You're going to invite me on your podcast, and then you're going to get my name wrong.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay.
There's a table to suplex me through if need be.
It might be more than a table.
Oh.
Okay, so let's get this right.
Okay.
It is Omega, the Omni King, the powerhouse of Unstoppable.
I like that.
Got it?
I like that.
You get the whole title.
Yes.
You write that down?
Yeah.
I see pen and paper.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Uh-huh.
Okay, so we'll get the tables out of here because I don't want to go through one of those. But I think we are on your good side. We're going to start right from the top, man. Being that you're into wrestling and this is something that, that you don't see people getting into, I want to know, what were you like in high school?
In high school, I was more of a Christian man, kind of where I am now, but a little more reserved. I was in football, I was a jock, and I was smart, so I was a triple threat. But when it came to being more vocal and out, I was in theater, so that was just something that was just a part of me. So being athletic and being in theater led me up to wrestling just because it's something I love to do.
Okay. And you said that led you right into wrestling. So I do want to know this. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Oh, God.
I'm sure you got a couple of them.
Yeah. Really, if you want to ask me the two that influenced me the most, it would have to be The Rock and it would have to be Shawn Michaels. The reason being is because Shawn Michaels went to the same church that I did at that time. And so
Cornerstone?
Cornerstone Church down there on 1604 and Stone Oak Boulevard.
Okay.
So being down over there with Shawn and watching him was for the transformation. He had his other documentaries of what he was like in the 90s versus what he was like then. And then Dwayne Johnson was the first person, I remember this vividly, Raw in 1997, I think it was September. And he was the first person I watched on TV when he walked down with the Nation of Domination. My parents had stopped on that channel because they were like, oh, look, black characters, And
exactly.
in 97, it was the Black Power movement and all this other stuff with film and TV. And so when we saw Dwayne Johnson walk down, he looked like me. Light-skinned brother, my family, big build, and just the way that Dwayne Johnson captures your attention and the way that Shawn Michaels performs in the ring, those two aspects just make you believe. And that was probably the two most influential men.
Okay. And like I said, this is something that, as a kid, people have this dream, but it's not something you see people actually pursue. When you, at what point did you say, that's what I want to do and actually started taking the steps?
It was probably when I was 20. I lived all my life vicariously with my parents because I was attached to the hip. I was. And there was a strict, this is the line you follow because this is what God says and this is what you want to do. And so you need to line this up with what God has for you. But the problem is what a lot of people experience is you don't know what you want to do. And when you have a set of core values, it's hard to place that in. And with wrestling being the way it was at the time, it might necessarily fall into the same category.
Yeah.
And then I started to realize that I have one shot at life. I don't believe in Hinduism. I don't believe in a multi-life theory and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. So I believe you got one shot to make an impact on the world and make it a better place than it was when you came in. And so when I was 20 years old, I met a woman named Sonia Barrera, one of my mother's friends. She knew a man named Patrick Hart. Patrick Hart is a wrestler here in San Antonio. He trained me to start off. And then my actual wrestling father, I call him Jerry Reyes, aka Virus if you ask the Lucha guys, and Virus if you call the American guys, trained me. He first trained me Lucha, and then he trained me American. And so from that point on, wrestling's just been a thing.
Okay, so with that being said, it sounds like you're very well versed in the wrestling as far as the different styles of training that you had.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say was your favorite special move as a youngster, and maybe even now, what's your favorite special move?
Still a super kick. It's easy, it's simple, and you can pull it out of the bag out of nowhere. And I'm 300 pounds, so when I kick a person in the face, guess what? You going to sleep.
Yeah, they're not gonna like that.
No, they're not. And so for me, it's really the super kick and probably the jackhammer, because that's my finish. So
that's your finisher?
That's one of my finishes.
Oh my God,
that's my big finish.
You're the first person that I've seen that acknowledged it, because everybody loves the stunner and all that stuff, and I think just yesterday I was going ham about the jackhammer. The jackhammer is my move, so yes, I gotta salute you there.
There you go.
So tell me this: have you ever been injured?
Yes.
And what happened?
Every wrestler's been injured. Now, you're asking me if I've been injured. There's two different things. Are you asking me if I've been hurt or I've been injured? That's two different.
Actually, I want to know both.
Okay. So being hurt, I've been hurt all the time.
Yeah.
That's I think the first time that I really had a bad hurt was I was running in the ring at a lucha show, and I tried to slide in underneath the bottom rope, and I clipped my thigh, and I had a bruise that was about this big and this big on my thigh, because I got big thighs. Yeah. And it was purple and black for a long time. It's probably about
That's not good for 2-piece Tuesday.
No. No leg days. No. I can skip leg day. You know why? Because I got enough leg day. But as far as being hurt, the only injury that I've really suffered were two injuries. One was I was wrestling DeMarcus Rashad, another, again, at a lucha show, and he came off a springboard, hit an elbow, and I turned to try to avoid him a little bit, and my shoulder ate the full body weight of him, and it collapsed my shoulder in, and I had a shoulder injury for about 2 or 3 weeks. God. And then I was there's a video, if you can find it. It's of me versus William Huckabee at TCW in a world heavyweight title match. We were main eventing their biggest show of the year. And I decided that I was going to do a moonsault off the second rope, because I usually do it off the third rope. Yeah. So when I went over, I remember I under-rotated because I was so tired. And I did it, and I landed on my shoulder, because the goal for me was I'm going to land on this guy flat. Boom. Yeah. He moved. I landed on my shoulder, but on the video, it looks like I landed on the top of my head.
Oh, wow.
And I laid there, and my shoulder was probably beat up for about 2 more months after that. So those injuries happened about 3 to 4 weeks apart. But other than that, I haven't really been injured, really. But I have had a concussion.
Oh, my God.
Wrestling's dangerous.